while we're on this topic, I'll introduce you to this guy, Destiny. He's one of probably the second biggest lefty streamer guy. Hassan being the biggest, and Destiny being the second biggest. And
Mm-hmm.
After all this Trump stuff went down, he really started losing his mind, and he said some crazy stuff about his parents. So a chatter asked, because he's been saying basically he doesn't care if people die to political violence if they supported Trump, and because he did an insurrection, and so screw all those people, screw half the country because they support a guy who was, associated with an insurrection to whatever level you think he's involved or organized, whatever. He says half the country, screw them all, they can die, including his parents. That's what he's about to say here.
One, you permaban for asking a stupid question, because the obvious answer two is, listen, they're adults. They make their own fucking decisions. If you want to support an insurrectionist president, then whatever comes of that that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke. My mom is an immigrant to the United States of America. She was 5 years old. Her parents worked really hard to get her here. She served for 20 years in the Air Force, along with my dad. They know exactly what they're doing. They should know exactly what they're supporting. It was my mom that, ranted at me for over a decade about how evil the USSR and Putin and all the Chi-coms and all that shit. So whatever, if they go to a rally and they whatever the fuck, is less end of life cost for me to deal with.
So yeah, his parents can die because they have the wrong opinions, and he'd save money. So doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say. That, like, even if you're not that close with your parents, like, that is just an insane thing to say.
Yeah, and you heard that part. His mom was an immigrant, moved here at 5 years old, and then worked to set this guy up for life where he could have 800,000 subs on YouTube and make a bunch of money being a streamer and have just about the cushiest life imaginable. But since his parents support Donald Trump, well, if they die, that whatever it is, that's what it is. What?
Yeah,
What?
I think this is supposed to be a moment that, like, you think that it would reunite the country a little bit. Like, even if you don't like the guy, you think that you would still feel bad that happened to anyone. Like, that's the thing that I don't get.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be like the fair and balanced lefty guy. He makes fun of Hassan and Vosh and all those guys because he gets it, right wingers. Sure, he doesn't agree with you on everything, but he gets it. But no, you can actually die. That's what. But when I said I can see where you're coming from, what I meant was you can die, and I don't care. I don't want to get into too much of his tweets because I think they are just engagement bait and stuff. So mostly I just want to show, look, he says that about his parents, which is insane. Even if it is bait or whatever, I think it's fair to write somebody off for doing that as bait. But so he says, if we learned anything today, I hope it's realizing the importance of principles I've stressed many times on stream before. Having a firearm means absolutely nothing if you don't spend time at the range practicing with it. So, I mean, is that even thinly veiled? Is there any veil there? That's just get ready for political violence, right? That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you read that.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me too, man. And it's kind of a crazy thing to tweet after something like that. Like, that's
Yeah.
what?
Ray says conflicted, so you endorse violence? Because he earlier, Destiny said he felt conflicted about the shooting. And so then Ray replies, conflicted, so you endorse violence? And he says, oh, I'm sorry, what happened to 1776? Was that a peaceful protest? It's like, no. But does that mean we just make jokes about the people dying there? I don't think so.
Yeah. I think any rational person would agree with the first guy. That doesn't make any sense why you'd condone people getting shot just because sometimes the peaceful protests don't happen.
And so IBDL is replying to another one of Destiny's tweets. This is definitely the worst tweet about today's events I've seen so far. You don't just say, I'm honestly conflicted on your feelings about the shooting and not clarify. You're just begging people to think that a part of you wanted to see this happen. And he says, let me clarify. When I say conflicted, what I mean is that I lean towards seeing it as a natural extension of the Trump and the MAGA kids' support. So I don't think I have much sympathy about the attempt enough to chastise people celebrating it. So yeah, and he's like, yep, I don't care. All those people, screw them, including my parents. And then this is somebody on his Reddit or maybe his website, I don't know, but one of his fans says, yeah, I got to take a break from Destiny in this community. My friend's mom was right next to the guy who got killed. She is still freaking the fuck out over what she experienced. It'll probably take her years to recover from and deal with what she went through, if she ever does. This shit is sickening to see from some of y'all. Peace out, duders. And then Destiny replies, Don't ever come back. Tell your friend and his mom to get fucked. See ya. This is unrelated, but this is just another unhinged thing that Destiny said that I found while I was pulling clips and
They were
stuff.
16, and what's up?
Oh, if somebody
So XQC, who is a modern day philosopher, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's got lots of intelligent things to say, and lots of people listen to him and take him seriously. He says stuff like chat. Look at this chat. And yeah, so he's somebody
what
that
are
you want
those
to pay
people?
attention to and listen to. Yeah, but so XQC asks him, "What if a 16-year-old DMs you?" And this is Destiny's response.
talks to me and they're 16, I say message me in 2 years. Or if somebody it depends on what they
Whoa!
If someone messages me and they're
Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want to break the law, so yeah, you just wait 2 years. Like that seems reasonable to. Oh wait, that's a child you were talking to. Okay, yeah, never mind. I changed it. That's insane. This is like a cope basically that I also found. Somebody linked. This was to a part of his stream, and yeah, I'll just
Month,
play it. I think
we're gonna try something different, okay? Because my brain is destroyed.
So he says his brain is destroyed, which I mean that would make sense if you're tweeting those things and then your brain is destroyed. Okay, that makes sense. You probably shouldn't be taken seriously as a debater or political mind at all if you lost your brain or whatever the fuck it was that he said. But yeah,
I don't actually know what direction I want to take my content or what I want to do or what I can even emotionally stomach these days. So I think this month is just going to be really, really, really heavy reading. It's going to be boring.
Yeah, gonna do a lot of reading. It's gonna be boring. So he's hunkering down. He made fun of Vosh for this fortress arc where he was not going to talk to anybody because everybody's making fun of him for being a weirdo and a loser, more or less. And so he just kept to himself and did his own stream. And now Destiny's saying, I'm just going to read some articles for a month. Take a step back from all this interaction with people.
I'll probably try to do debates if people want to. There are a couple of things I think strategically that have worked for me, and there are a couple of things that haven't.
Okay, listen to this. So he's talking about a strategy that okay, and before we do that, look at this background. Is this not just like the weakest performative manliness? Like he has a shotgun up here. The wall, other than that, is basically bare. Just this shotgun, which, like, if you have a gun, cool. I don't have a problem with that. But that's like the one thing you display. That's like if all you had in your apartment was a beer sign, the neon beer sign. That would be lame to do. And then like a half fill, he couldn't even fill up a bookshelf. He's supposed to be a smart guy, but he couldn't even pretend that he reads books and fill the shelf up. And then he has these look like fake ammo cases. Maybe they're real ammo cases, but again, that's more neon beer sign to me. If those are ammo cases, like what the fuck you do, especially with the pink and purple lights. It's just I don't know. It's
trying to show something.
Yeah. So he's going to explain this strategy that he implemented recently.
I think the irony thing actually worked really well, as much as people seem to think that wouldn't work. I think the irony thing worked well, and that I see a lot of people post shit about me now, and nobody seems to believe a lot of the bad clips. Remember, I always see people say like, "Oh, that's a troll, blah blah." That was a good idea. Okay.
So he told his community when people say bad stuff about me, say that was a joke, that was ironic, it was out of context, all of that stuff. Just obfuscate, make it so that people don't know what's real. But Trump doing misinformation, that was terrible. That was horrible. We can't allow that. But he's explicitly talking about, telling my community to sow the seeds of disinformation and distrust. That really well. That I could get behind that again. I think I'm going to double down on that. What?
Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of hypocrisy there, huh? It's okay if he does it, but not if the Donald Trump does it.
Yes, the dreaded Darnell Trump.
Something that I don't know if it worked as well was the being incredibly polite in debates. It still seems like the people that I debated
So for a long time, he was really bombastic in debates, and he'd yell and rage and do blood sports and that sort of thing. But then he's like, I'm going to try to be nice and more reasonable and meet people where they're at and this sort of thing. Because what he wants is he wants to be taken seriously as a real debater, philosopher like XQC is. Or like this, I can't even remember what his name, like Raymond Finkelstein or whatever. He debated him on Israel-Palestine, and the guy called him like a fantastic moron or something like that. But Destiny wants
That's
to be taken
pretty
serious,
funny,
like
man.
these scholars and stuff. It was really funny. It was really funny. But Destiny wants to be taken seriously, like one of the big boys that, he wants to be Ben Shapiro basically and have whatever the Daily Wire. He wants to have his own version of that. But nobody takes him seriously, and he's mad about that. He's very upset.
treated like children, fucking hated me.
And he's coping. I treated them like children by trying to have civil discussions. It's like a lot of these other people that get taken seriously have civil discussions, and they don't consider it treating each other like children. They realize there's a greater goal than getting Twitter points or whatever.
No, 100%. It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Conversation anyway, even though it got me the first one. So I think I might go back to being a little bit less compromising in debates and a little bit more brutal. I think those are two big changes going forward. I don't know how many debates we'll get.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know how many debates we'll get. Nobody takes me seriously. I tried being nice. Nobody takes me seriously. I don't even know if anybody will debate me.
For you, maybe just try to be a little bit more professional. People will debate you.
Yeah, I don't know. Very lame, but that's how the left is handling the Trump assassination attempt. Very well, I would say.
Yeah, I guarantee you the polls are going to shift in Trump's favor even more after that. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, there's no way it doesn't help him. Like, he looked badass, and Joe Biden has just been doing fumble after fumble after fumble, and then this is what the second biggest lefty streamer's doing. Nobody takes Hassan seriously other than the people who watch his stream. That's it. So then the next guy down is Bosch. We didn't even need to get into